I just got back from the dentist. So when I was in Pattaya last week, I made my appointment for today, because it takes a lot more than that to get me to where I'm like, oh man, I wish I hadn't have done that, you know? Good evening, everyone. I just got back from the dentist. I had a cavity, back right top, pretty good sized one, and the reason I'm leaning over is because of that, the light, and then there's gets a reflection right here. So I'm just leaning in. But there was no pain, no cold or hot issues. So when I was in Pattaya last week, I made my appointment for today, and I fly to Pattaya in the morning for my eye surgery. But I was just it's crazy. Good crazy, a good kind of crazy. Again, no pain before and after. But she when she started, she said, okay, it's a pretty big cavity, and yeah, duh, you know, I could feel it with my tongue. I'm like, holy crap! I thought maybe a filling had fallen out, or my tooth had broke, or something like that. But no, it was a cavity, and I guess I haven't been very diligent, you know, with my anyway. So I made my appointment, and tonight at 5:30 p.m., 17:30, I go in, and she says, okay, I'm gonna clean it out, and hopefully we don't get into the inner tooth, because it's big, and you know, if we do, then we have to go, the next step is a root canal. And I said, well, I can't do, I'm flying tomorrow, so if that's the case, I'll wait until I come back. And she said, no, we can do it, and then put a temporary filling in and not do a root canal, and you'll be fine. And then when you come back, we do the root canal. Now, she said that it would be like two steps to do it. You know, and I'm not sure how I've done it. I've physically watched a prisoner that I was escorting when I was in the Army. I physically watched him get a root canal, and I recall bringing him back for a second appointment, but I don't recall a third one. But she said two, so obviously they, you know, drill out your root or whatever, clean out the core thing, and then I don't know why they can't do it then. I don't know, but it really doesn't matter at this point. But so bottom line, this is a top of the line dentist in my little small town. Very professional. The same place where I had my crown done when I actually broke my tooth. And 2,500 baht out the door. I was on the chair about an hour and 15 minutes. And so 2,500 baht at today's exchange rate is 75 US dollars. Actually closer to 76. I think it was 75 when I just looked at it. 75.93. So 76 bucks. Now, I was talking to my sister, who had just had a filling done. Now, apples and oranges, I don't know how big hers was, her cavity was, or her filling was, but it was, she has insurance, and the insurance company was billed $1,279. I mean, it's just like, I'm a little numb over here still. Crazy, huh? 76 bucks. I'm gonna stick with 75 because it's easier to. 75 bucks for the whole smash. And she could have done it without a shot, right? But I said, I don't want to be on edge the whole time waiting for her to hit a nerve, right? I said, go ahead and numb it up. Okay, because she could have done it without it. I've had fillings done before without being shot, right? They grind away, clean it up, do all this shit, put the filling in, pack it, grind on it, smooth it, do the bite test, you know, okay, take a little more down, you know, the whole smash, polish it. Same thing, completely professional. 3 women, assistant, the dentist, and another one mixing up the cavity shit, you know, and then doing any extra, I need this, I need that kind of thing. Tool grabber, you know, scalpel, forceps, right? But it just blows my mind. And 75 bucks, you can actually get that for even less in other provinces, other cities, okay? You know, 50 bucks. I've heard 50 bucks out the door, shit like that. 75 bucks, I'm ecstatic. You know what I mean? Okay. You all know I'm a social drinker, right? So, which, I mean, I drank alone the other day on my balcony because I really wanted a cold beer. But I generally don't drink unless I'm out with a group of people and we're like on holiday or traveling or something like that. Okay, so I could easily burn through 2,500 baht and get nothing to show for it. Not even a hangover, because it takes a lot more than that to get me to where I'm like, oh man, I wish I hadn't have done that, you know. 2,500 baht for a frickin' tooth, a filling. Extremely clean office. I've been in there a handful of times already. For my temporary crown, my final crown. My temporary crown fell out, so when I went back in, they epoxied the shit out of it and more UV'd it, you know, so I've been in there quite a few times. And then it's always been because of something broken or something like that. So the next time I go in, I want a complete cleaning, right? You know, clean my teeth, because I'm used to every 6 months. Just because, you know. But I'm just blown away. $75, 76, but we'll say 75, okay? 2,500 baht. And it's not the crappy silver mercury freaking toxic shit, you know, from the old days. It's white. It's, you know. So maybe I can go in and have all my old fillings removed and replaced with white, right? And then I can audition for old movies, westerns and shit. So when and they're opening their mouth and you see fillings, and you go, oh, they didn't do that then. Anyway, I'm just messing around. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to me babble in my carport. I just had to speak before I went inside. Got comfortable. Final pack. I've got basically get up in the morning, shower, brush my teeth really good, grab a couple of items. I have a list with the, you know, on my refrigerator right there. Boom, on the magnet, hold it there. A couple things. And since I'm flying domestic, I've got a couple of Fuji apples in my fridge that need to be consumed. So I'll throw those in my bag, in my little satchel, you know, my shoulder bag, and you know, use that. What the hell am I looking at here? What is that? Oh, that's that thing from that. Okay. Anyway, but so I can bring fruit and shit. Like if I was going international, it's like no, they'll take it when you're going through the security checkpoint. You can't. It's almost every country. You can't bring fresh meat. You can't bring fresh fruit. Shit like that. It's got to be preserved of some sort, something like that. But anyway, all right, I'm babbling. Thanks for watching.